Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Tuesday. Do Monday holidays mess anybody else up? Like, I keep thinking today's Monday, but it's Tuesday. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Heinrich. Good morning, Sterling. Good morning, George. Good morning to everybody else hiding in the background. So, let's get this kicked off. Let's get this shortened trading week kicked off. Uh, we got some Fed speak today, and that's about it. We had some building permits and housing starts. Housing starts jumping pretty big. So housing stocks still strong. Keep in mind with the shortened week, we got Powell's testimony Wednesday and Thursday. We got Powell, so there's got a lot that he could say. It's still on target for we've paused, but the next July meeting, as he said, a live meeting, which means it has not been decided, but it's still forecast that there is a hike. We got a lot of other Fed speak this week, and every day this week. So that's pretty much what the week's filled with. And then we have the S&P manufacturing and services and composite on Friday, the minor number. Now we got OPEX, quarterly OPEX out of the way last Friday, but next week. Remember, we got the end of quarter rebalancing, and then we go into sort of an interesting thing because July 4th is on a Tuesday. So there'll be a lot less activity on the Monday, the 3rd. So we're going to have an interesting stuff, especially next week. The big event I'm watching this week is what Jay Powell says in his testimony in front of Congress. Little pullback. We finally got some pullback starting on Friday. Uh, Sort of mixed market, but mostly down this morning. Utilities are the only thing that's up. At basic materials, consumer cyclical, and comm services pulling back. As I said before, Fed Watch still 75% for the hike in July, 36 days away. The probability curve still shows the one hike and pausing through the end of the year, and then one cut starting early next year. Fear and greed, we're still in extreme greed mode. It's going to take a fair amount to pull it back from there. Hey, options 22. So in terms of gamma, neutral gamma is about 44.10, 44.05, 44.10. So we're still in positive gamma. And there's the huge gamma areas, both put and call, right around this 4,400 area. Some are on either side, right around there. So that is the key area. So I just focus on 4,400 for any gamma flip to negative. In terms of earnings, remember earnings season has wound down, but we got FedEx today. That's going to actually be interesting to see how shipping and if stuff's starting to pull back more and any guidance FedEx has or if it's staying strong. And then for the rest of the week, we got KB Homes after tomorrow, and CarMax is sort of interesting on Friday from the used car market. Other than that, you see so far we've had what started, remember, futures traded yesterday on a shortened session. Futures traded yesterday on a shortened session. So far today, we just have this nice little pullback. The major support area I'm watching going into the open is 44.25. We drop through there. I'm going to 4,400, then 43.81 are my next support areas. Here's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to update this if we pull back a little more into the open, but as it stands now, if we hold this little area 44.63, you see this prior breakdown zone, and that's the 50% move. So that will be my target. That will be my target. And then on an end of day basis, next target's 44.70 on any rally. Now remember, if we pull back to this 44.25 area, I'm just going to drop this down and that's going to lower my levels. But that is exactly what I'm doing right now. We'll check Sterling 4 in the Russell for that potential double. You see the NASDAQ It dropped below some little support setup last Wednesday, but so far is trading back above it. I'm pretty much doing the same thing with the NASDAQ using the retracement area right now. That's giving me about 15,322, which is the breakdown zone. And when I'm talking breakdown zone, everybody should be able to spot this. That's what held support and then broke, retested. So you see the support level broken on Friday, retested last night with this little spike high, and then Sunday night, then rolling down. So that's going to be the key first target area, about 15,320, 15,325. If we start dropping below there, 15,100 and then 14,965. Just keep in mind, everything, I'm going to jump back to the S&P, everything's still super extended beyond the rotation zone. So if we start the bigger pullback, the daily rotation zone on the S&P is right around this 4,400 area. So that's going to be the major, if we do get the bigger pullback, not even necessarily today, but that's going to be the major first target area. And the NASDAQ is about 15,100. The Dow is 34,350. That's what I'm watching. The Dow's below a key little resistance level. So on any bounce, my first target is 34,590, 34,600. And then I'll do the same thing with the harmonic levels, 34,656. Pullback area is about 34,220 to 34,250. And then 34,330. The Russell, we still have a potential double top in play. Would need a 4-hour close below 1876. And so it still has not confirmed or triggered. It means we rotate back up here, start getting back above 1910. It'll start getting to where it's iffy territory, having never confirmed or triggered. Do we have a little mini double? This is not a mini double. No, because of all this extended sideways, it's not moving enough of at least in the Russell futures, we don't have a 15-minute double. But I would really be focused on this key inflection point about this 1892 to 1894 area on any rally back up there. I'm more focused to see this as the little topping pattern, if this does trigger, to start a bigger pullback, especially in the Russell. Other than that, just do your same little stuff from the highs to the low that formed the potential double, and I'll stress potential. And here's for any intraday action, sterling, I choose 1902, then 1909 would be my key major targets. The VIX, we still have a horribly sloppy potential daily double bottom. I'm just keeping an eye on that because that could start a slightly bigger pullback, but has not confirmed or triggered. We rotate down again, it will probably start getting off the table. You see here the DAX just keeps on chugging higher. So we don't have a double in there. I'll have to double check that, but it's looks overextended right now. Major support coming in about 16,100 to 16,150. I'm watching for a secondary reaction back up to see if we form another potential topping pattern. The notes are just a mess. Support still 112.20, resistance 114.04. Other than that, it's in no man's land from my perspective. The 10-2s, we've virtually gone back to 87.5 after doing the double top, coming down to 87.5. So right down in here again, between this minus 99 to about minus 90, I'm watching for another potential bottoming pattern in the 10-2 yields. The dollar index, little slight bounce. I'm going to be watching for, if it does continue up to even about 102.40 to 102.50 for another then secondary reaction, to see on the pullback play what that sets up. because we don't have any strong bottoming. It is holding the prior major breakout level, but it did close below the 62.5. So it's mixed signals right here. That's why I'm watching the secondary reaction. Crude, still in no man's land. I need to get, there's just nothing besides very short-term setups, nothing on a bigger basis. Remember, crude tends to trend and then go into consolidation, and we are definitely in consolidation mode at this point. So it's only short-term signals. I'm now watching, we're starting to build a very solid base in natty gas. We'll be watching on any pullback to about 242 to 245 to see how it reacts there. Gold could be turning into a triple bottom without ever confirming or triggering the double bottom, but still it's a bottom within a consolidation, an extended consolidation period. So we're watching for that. If we do, though, break below 1937, I'm still watching then for the bigger pullback, which would shake a lot of people out. What else do we have? Yen. Just watch it now to see if we pulled the rotation zone 141 area. Euro, we closed above the 62.5, so now it's inverse of the dollar. I'm watching the pullback, especially do about possibly 108.80, and then going to watch for the secondary reaction bounce up. Pound, watching 127 as key support. Bitcoin is still a whole lot of nowhere after the bounce last week after hitting the first target from the double. But there's no other fantastic targets in there. Tesla, which may go off the table today, but it still has a minor potential double top, not confirmed or triggered, would need a close below 247.29. The next key target, if it keeps rallying, is 271.25. NVIDIA, remember, the doubles off the table. So right now, key support coming in at 410. Your minor support coming in at 421.50 to 422. So it reconnected with the rotation zone. The potential double never triggered or confirmed. The next key target, if we keep marching higher, is 458. Let's take a look at the spiders and the Qs. Next target for the spiders, we're getting a gap down this morning with a little pullback in the future. So the first target would be the close from Friday, 439.46. Support coming in at 435 to 435.50. Other than that, on any bounce up, the next target would be 443 and then 443 to 444. And then if we do break above Friday's highs, we're looking at 447. The Qs. Let's see. Why I don't want that. Okay, the Qs, we have major support right down around 362.50, little gap down. So first thing on any rally would be gap fill to Friday, 367.93. Then what do we have? What happened to my little thing to lock it in there? My support before that is 366.25. You have this little resistance ledge becoming support and the 4-hour rotation zone. And again, on a 4-hour basis, 360 is very key support. So besides the gap fill, the next target up on any rally would be about 369.65. Then you have a pretty key resistance, 371.25, and then it's the 372.75 area after hitting the 75% harmonic between Thursday and Friday. If we do break above Friday's high, not for today, but overall, this is a very key resistance areas for the Qs. You see that was a topping area back in April from 22 and from February in 22. And it was the key support from January in 22. So this is a pretty substantial resistance area, but if it does manage to power through this, 389 is the next key target. So that's where we sit there. Bob, I don't know. Bob, again, injured himself. He blew out his Achilles heel over the weekend playing pickleball. So he's got to go in for MRIs and probably surgery. So that's what's going on with Bob. We already covered Pep. We already still have the potential double, but if that does not hold, it is not even triggered yet. But if this rotates down, forms a trigger, triple bottom, really pay attention to 1936 area, because if that breaks, the next key target is 1913. All right, I've got to jump, do a little more prep in the open. Got electricians showing up in roughly right at the open too, unfortunately. So I have to deal with a bunch of stuff, and I shall talk to everyone later. Have a wonderful shortened trading week. And remember, don't forget, we got J Powell Thursday or Wednesday and Thursday, which you'll really see. I know it's congressional testimony, but it might be more clarification of the viewpoints going into the live meeting in July. I'll see everybody later. Bye for now.